Assalamu alaikum. So I have decided to start uploading Arabic learning videos. What I am intending to do is, inshallah, I will try to teach the Arabic grammar through the books Durutul Lughat al Arabiya, which are famously known as Madina Arabic books. There are total 3 books. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. So what I will try to do is, I will try to cover as much as grammar I can from the first 2 books. After it, we can go through books like An-Nahw al-Wazih, and there are other few books. And also I will be uploading videos on Surf, but as for Surf, I haven't decided any particular book. So anyway, as for introduction of this book, then this book basically needs no introduction, as it is one of the most famous Arabic learning books, and it is one of the easiest, if not the easiest, Arabic learning books, especially with regards to how each concept is put together, and you will not find this simplicity in any other Arabic learning books. While going through this book, I will try to cover the grammar part bit by bit, so as not to bore the people, and if I have to create a separate video to explain a grammar part in detail, I will do it. And most important thing, if you don't understand anything, then don't worry, we will be repeating things so often that you will get it. And even after all that, if you don't understand anything, then don't worry, because grammar is just a tool. You can understand the language even without it. Before we start, let's go through some very basics of Arabic. As for this video, I will only touch few grammar points, rest we will read the book. 3. Dhamma, Kasra and Fatha are the vowel signs of Arabic called harakat. Dhamma represents the U sound, Kasra represents the E sound, and Fatha represents the A sound. You might recognize Dhamma in Urdu as pesh, and Kasra aszer, and Fatha as dabar. As for Sukun, then it is not a vowel sign. Sukun basically means absence of a harakat. Sukun is Sukun. Any letter upon which there is Dhamma is called Mazmum. Any letter on which there is Kasra is called Maksur, and any letter that has a Fatha is called Maftuh. Tanween is basically a double harakat with a sound of Nun Sakin at the end. So this Ba with double Dhamma is equal to Bun, and this Ba with double Kasra, that is Tanween, is equal to Bin, and this Ba with double Fatha, that is Tanween, is equal to Ban. As for Shadda, Shadda is basically doubling of a letter. As for parts of Arabic speech, the Arabic parts of speech are Ism, Fi'l, Harf. So in Arabic there are 3 parts of speech, while in English you have 8, but the noun of Arabic includes pronoun, adverb and adjective, and Harf, that is particle of Arabic, includes preposition and conjunction. So Ism can be defined as name of anyone, anything, pronoun, adverb, adjective, basically anything, and Fi'l, any word describing an action that has a tense is called Fi'l, and Harf means particle. So anyway, we will go through the book. Ad-Dars al-Awwal, first lesson. I guess we will go through the vocabs first. I like to read the vocabs first before I read a sentence. So you can see I gather few vocabs here. So this Haza is actually Haza, but it is written without this alif. So Haza means this, Baitun means house, Babun means door, Kitabun means book, Qalamun means pen, Miftahun means key, Maktabun means desk, Sarirun means bed, Kursiyun means chair, and Ma means what. So now let's go to the main book. Haza is a demonstrative pronoun, which means this. It is used to point at something near. So if you have to point at something near by saying this, in Arabic you say Haza. So Haza Baitun means this is a house. So Haza Masjidun means this is a mosque. Haza Babun means this is the door. Hada Kitabun means this is a book, you're basically pointing at something near you. Hada qalamun means this is a pen. Hada miftahun means this is a key. Hada maktabun means this is a desk. Hada sarirun means this is a bed. Hada kursiyun means this is a chair. So little bit grammar here. Arabic doesn't have any word similar to is of English, which is called a connecting word in English. So in Arabic you don't have any word similar to is of English, and the indefinite articles a or an of English are represented by the tanween in a word, and there are no separate words for it. For example, the a of a house is represented by this tanween here. So baitun means a house, tufahun means an apple, the an is represented by the tanween here. Ma means what, ma haza means what is this, that we are basically pointing at something and asking what is this. So ma haza means what is this, you are basically pointing at this image right here. So the answer is haza baitun, this is a house. So a house is represented by this tanween here. A haza baitun, this hamza right here is a particle, that is harf in Arabic. It is used to ask questions. If this hamza is inserted before a sentence, it turns that sentence into a question. Like haza baitun is a sentence which means this is a house, and you inserted this a before this sentence. Now it has made this sentence into a question. So haza baitun meant this is a house. A haza baitun means is this a house. Naam haza baitun, yes this is a house. Naam means yes. Ma haza, you are asking while pointing at this image which is near you. The answer is haza qamisun, this is a shirt. A haza sarirun, you are asking about this image right here. La haza kursiyun, no this is a chair. So this la here is a particle which means no. It is used to negate a question. So the question was a haza sarirun, is this a bed? So you negated that question by saying la, which means no. Haza kursiyun, then you gave the right answer, that is haza kursiyun, this is the chair. A haza miftahun, is this a key? La haza qalamun, no this is the pen. Ma haza, what is this? Haza najmun, this is a star. So inshallah we will continue in the next video. Tamrin means exercise, so you can attempt this exercise if you are watching this video. So here are the questions written ma haza, and you have to put your answer. So what did we learn so far? We learned the demonstrative pronoun haza, which means this, which is used to point at something near, and we also learned that in Arabic there is no word similar to that of is of English, and we also learned that a or an of English are represented by this tanween right here, and we also learned about ma, which means what, and ma haza means what is this, and we also learned how to turn a sentence into a question by inserting this particle hamza before the sentence. Haza baitun meant this is a house. A haza baitun means is this a house. We also learned how to say yes in Arabic, that is naam, and also we learned how to negate a question by saying la. So anyway, inshallah in the next video we will touch more grammar points, and inshallah in the next video I will try to discuss about definite and indefinite nouns of Arabic, and also little bit touch how sentences are made in Arabic. So please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Assalamu alaikum.